just after midnight on a July night in 1997. A quiet Southern California street, usually calm and uneventful, was shattered by gunfire. A car had stopped when shots rang out. A man ran, desperate to escape, but collapsed almost immediately. When police arrived, the scene was confusing. A lifeless body lay on the pavement, and a woman sat nearby, appearing dazed. This was no random attack. It was the result of a plan that had been set in motion long before that night. Bruce Cleland was born on March 31, 1954, in South Pasadena, California. He grew up in a well-off family, with supportive and educated parents and an older sister. The Clelands had comfort and stability, and their wealth stretched back through generations. On the surface, they were the picture of success, accomplished parents, well-raised children, and a bright future. From a young age, Bruce was intelligent. But as a teenager, he quickly learned that smarts didn't protect him from cruelty. At South Pasadena High School, he was teased for his voice and stature, earning the nickname Tiny Tim. It wasn't just a jab at his appearance. It was how others saw him: gentle, awkward, and easy to overlook. Bruce coped by laughing at himself, rarely showing anger or standing up for himself. Shy and reserved, he avoided romance and kept a small circle of friends who valued his wit, loyalty, and humor. At home, his father Harold was a strong support, sharing hobbies like football games and air shows, giving Bruce a sense of belonging. Despite a desire to date, Bruce lacked confidence and focused on academics instead. He excelled in science, math, and computers, graduating high school in 1972 as a top student. He went on to study at Harvey Mudd College, where he balanced academics with a modest social life. After earning a degree, he continued at Stanford University, completing a master's in 1978. Bruce then started his career at General Electric, later moving to TRW as a software engineer, sometimes working on classified projects. By the late 1980s, he lived modestly despite earning over $100,000 a year, investing carefully and keeping his life simple. Though confident in his career, Bruce remained inexperienced in love. That began to change in 1995, when he met Rebecca Salcido at a swap meet. Rebecca was selling spices, and Bruce was immediately drawn to her charm. Unsure how to approach her, he suggested she apply for a job at his IT company. She handed him her resume, and soon after, Bruce called her. Their relationship began quickly. Rebecca moved fast. Within a week, she suggested marriage. Bruce, unused to this attention, was overwhelmed but agreed. She introduced him to her young son and shared personal struggles, prompting Bruce to provide financial support: apartment, car, furniture. He gave freely, believing it was love. Rebecca asked to wait until after marriage for intimacy, claiming she had only been with one man before. Bruce, naive and trusting, felt she was principled. He even bought an expensive engagement ring and a house for them to share. A civil wedding took place in October 1996, with a grand church ceremony planned for January 1997. But behind the scenes, Rebecca was calculating. She understood Bruce's inexperience and used his trust and generosity to her advantage. Her past revealed a pattern of using relationships for money and stability. She had grown up in a difficult household, married young for financial gain, spent time in prison, and later had a child while navigating unstable relationships. None of this was known to Bruce. Rebecca quickly made herself comfortable in the new house, hosting parties and men, claiming they were cousins when Bruce questioned it. By the time the church wedding occurred, she had openly admitted to friends that she didn't love Bruce and was only after his money. On their honeymoon in Hawaii, she mocked him to friends back home. Upon returning, she resumed spending his money, cheating, and causing stress. Bruce eventually moved back with his parents after police were called to a loud argument in April. He realized Rebecca's motives were financial, not romantic. When assets were divided, she gained very little, though she continued spending his money without his knowledge. On the night of July 25, 1997, Rebecca suggested they try again. Bruce, hopeful, agreed to meet her. They stopped at her uncle's house, then drove along a quiet road. Rebecca claimed to check the tailgate. While Bruce stayed in the passenger seat, a shadow appeared and gunshots rang out. Bruce was struck multiple times and fell. A neighbor witnessed the attack and called police. Rebecca remained calm, claiming a robbery, but inconsistencies soon appeared. Her purse, phone, and Bruce's wallet were untouched. Background checks and witness reports revealed her lavish spending, infidelities, and obsession with money. Investigators discovered she had taken out life insurance on Bruce worth $1 million with his forged signature. Phone records and eyewitness accounts pointed to Alvaro Quesada, Rebecca's cousin, who admitted to being the shooter at her request. His brother Jose also confessed. Both identified Rebecca as the mastermind. In June 2000, Rebecca Cleland, Alvaro, and Jose Quesada were convicted of first-degree murder and conspiracy. Rebecca was sentenced in 2003 to life without parole. Alvaro and Jose also remain in prison. For Bruce's parents, the verdict brought justice but little comfort. They had warned him against marrying Rebecca, but he had not listened. After the wedding, his happiness faded. He had planned to divorce, but it was too late. Bruce's life, marked by intelligence, kindness, and dedication, was ended by someone who saw him only as a means to gain wealth. His story is a tragic reminder of how trust can be manipulated and love turned deadly.